G'day, Josh here with another Chess Rush video, and this one's a little bit different. Obviously, I'm not in game at the moment. I'm actually on a website, tap.io. Genius X on Discord shared this with me. This is the Chinese version of the game, and this is where they release some information about patch notes and things like that. I only speak English, but thankfully there is a translate button that theoretically should work. Which it is not doing. Let me try reloading the page and clicking that again. There we go. So now in English, although I'm sure the translation won't be perfect, but essentially what this is it is details of a balance adjustment that hit the Chinese version of the game on May 27th, so roughly a week ago. Typically, the Chinese version of the game is used to test stuff that might be coming to global versions. So essentially what that means is, as I read through, how many notes do we have? Oh, there's a little bit. As I read through the following patch notes, there is a high likelihood that the changes that have made their way to the Chinese version of the game will also make their way to the global version of the game. Maybe not the exact same numbers. There might be some further tweaking before that happens, and not everything will necessarily make its way to the game. But I think it is going to be interesting and worth reading through. So big shout out and thank you to Genius X for dropping this link. He DM'd it to me, so I'd have some interesting content to bring to you all, because at the moment the balance patches haven't really been coming. Events in game have been pretty lackluster, so there's not really a whole lot of new stuff in Chess Rush at the moment. There's obviously only a couple of weeks of the current season left though, so hopefully soon there'll be some exciting new stuff, including possibly what we're about to read through. So I'm going to start off with number one. The Eastern bondage is relatively weak in the environment. So obviously straight away we know that the translation is not perfect, but Easterns are weak. Yes, because they're primarily in the featured hero sets. They're really hard to get 6 of. Increase the injury reduction rate of 6 or the ability called Golden Body, especially for the 6-person population. And the injury reduction rate that is effective for all teammates when you have 6 of them is now the same as the Eastern hero. That's nice. In addition, we have reduced the trigger health of the gold body effect. Therefore, the hero has more blue when triggering the effect and can release his skills during the golden body. I think what that means is it will trigger with a lower total remaining health threshold. So theoretically, they should have more mana so that they're firing off their abilities during the time that they're invincible, theoretically. And I'm not entirely sure. If anyone knows what hero that is referring to, please let me know in the comments below. But I'm not entirely sure what that last sentence means. All right. The mechanical win rate is relatively inadequate, so I think we can safely assume there that that is cyborgs. We have enhanced the bondage effect of 6 machines to make them effective for all teammates. So I think that's similar to what the Easterns do. When you have 6 cyborgs, now their bonus effect will take place for your entire team, not just the cyborgs, providing strong survivability for all lineups connected to the machine lineup, so that everyone can have the opportunity to try the machine method. All right, gets a little bit weird at the end there, but essentially 6 cyborgs will benefit the entire team, not just the cyborgs on your side of the board. The restraint effect of Undead is too strong. So basically the armor reduction is too strong. So knights or riders, warriors, and other class/races with armor enhancement as their main combo ability are not super strong in the meta because of how OP Undead is. So essentially the armor debuff that Undead provides has been just brought back just a little bit. We don't have the exact details, or maybe further down in the post we might, but at this point we just know that Undead have been nerfed. In the current environment, Joan of Arc is more powerful. I think Meat Outfits is summoners. So she's super powerful with summoners because she's a 1-cost that summons quite a few soldiers. She's easy to 3-star. So her ability looks to have been slightly nerfed as well. Then the effect of the Indestructible Crown is too versatile. Now, I think this is an item in Treasure Arena. We have additionally balanced the effects of 2 pieces of life-building equipment. So essentially this is talking about I think it might even be like the werewolf helm, the lone wolf helm, sorry. Might be the lone wolf helm. I'm not 100% sure on that, but essentially some slight tweaks to some of the items. Oh, there it is. There. It says lone wolf helmet there, actually. So maybe the indestructible crown was something slightly different. But essentially there's been balances to some treasure arena items. And then there's some specific patch notes for heroes and race/classes. So I'm not entirely sure what hero that is, the English equivalent of that hero. Wonder if I might just see if I can Google that real quick. Do we get anything? Oh, it's Wukong. Looks like it's Wukong. Okay, so Wukong, is that let me actually have a look at the numbers here. Damage per second has been increased. So yes, that is a buff for Wukong. Once again, I'm not entirely sure who that is, but let's have a look here. See if we can figure out who that is. No, not entirely sure. If anyone knows, once again in the comments, please let me know who that hero is in English. But that is actually a slight nerf to that hero. HP has been slightly reduced at all levels. Then 6 cyborgs. So when you have 6 of them now, the armor and health buff, the numbers haven't changed, but it'll affect the entire team. So that's definitely a buff. Elves, 6 elves, I think this is the same. It's not just elves anymore. The entire team will now get 35% dodge chance that can proc on attack or being attacked. So elves have also been buffed if you have 6 of them. Then the Easterns. So it looks like 2 Easterns. Oh, this is the HP change. So it's gone from 50 to 40 here. It's gone from 55 to 40. And it's gone from 60 to 45. And obviously at 6, you then have the entire team as well, not just the Easterns. Here's the undead numbers. So 2 undead armor reductions dropped 15% and 20% for 4 undead. I still think that 2 undead is going to be pretty strong. It's still a pretty significant chunk of armor debuff that happens in this case. So I think they'll still be very viable in the meta, but just not quite as OP. So maybe warriors will have a bit of a comeback. Who knows? Maybe riders, but they don't have a lot of DPS if you're not running a dragon rider build either. So they've got some other deficiencies that need to be addressed. And then finally, the unbreakable crown. I don't think that's the English name. I don't think that translation is 100% correct. But once again, please let me know in the comments down below if you are aware. No longer increases the max health by 25%. And the lone wolf helmet, the shield will no longer need... I think that means that it doesn't need to be isolated on its own to use this item like it used to be in the past. So there it is. That is the patch notes from the recent update to the Chinese version of the game. And that gives us a very good indication of what might be making its way to the game, probably in a couple of weeks when the next season update hits. And I'm hoping that there's some other stuff that comes with that. Maybe some new heroes, maybe some new content, better events. Because the events this season have been pretty lackluster, if you ask me. And the regularity of balance updates has been very disappointing. There's only been one, and it was primarily just to deal with Marsh Lords. So there hasn't been a whole lot to keep the meta fresh. The featured hero rotation hasn't occurred. There's been no rotation whatsoever. So, yeah, hoping that there's lots of improvements, but this might give us a little teaser of what might be to come next season. Thank you so much for checking out the video. Give it a thumbs up if you liked it. Hit that sub button if you haven't already. And until next time, I'll see you later.